Welcome to the second episode of this three-part series examining the life and legacy of Nikola Tesla. In the previous episode, we explored Tesla's childhood in the Austrian Empire and his arrival in New York with nothing but his genius. In this episode, we turn to the defining conflict of the electrical age, the War of the Currents. We explore how a bitter betrayal by Thomas Edison pushed Tesla into a high-stakes battle for the future of power, and how one man's vision eventually lit up the world. When Tesla first walked into Thomas Edison's office in 1884, he was met with a man who was his polar opposite. Edison was a self-taught, practical tinkerer who believed in trial and error. He once famously said he hadn't failed, but just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. Tesla, on the other hand, was a theoretical genius who believed in perfect mental design before a single wire was touched. Despite their differences, Edison hired him on the spot. Tesla worked around the clock, often staying at the Edison Machine Works until dawn, fixing complex problems that stumped Edison's best engineers. The breaking point came when Edison complained about the inefficiency of his direct current, or DC, dynamos. He told Tesla, "There's $50,000 in it for you if you can improve 24 of my standard machines." At the time, that was a massive sum, enough to build a laboratory of his own. Tesla took the challenge. He redesigned the machines from the ground up, making them vastly more powerful and efficient. When he went to Edison's office to collect his payment, Edison leaned back in his chair and laughed. He told Tesla, "You don't understand our American humor." He offered a small raise of $10 a week instead. Tesla, a man of intense honor and pride, resigned that very day. For the next year, the man who had the blueprints for the 20th century in his head was forced to dig ditches for $2 a day. He worked alongside laborers who had no idea they were in the presence of a genius who had worked for Edison. He would later describe this as the most painful and humiliating period of his life. But even while digging in the mud, he was talking. He told his fellow workers about his alternating current motor. Word eventually reached George Westinghouse, a wealthy investor and inventor who realized that Tesla held the key to an electrical revolution that could span continents. Westinghouse bought Tesla's patents for a massive sum, and the War of the Currents officially began. Edison had invested everything in direct current, but DC had a fatal flaw. It was like a weak stream of water. It couldn't travel more than a mile without losing power, meaning you needed a power plant on every street corner. Tesla's alternating current, or AC, was like a powerful tide. Using transformers, it could be stepped up to high voltages and travel hundreds of miles with almost no loss, then stepped back down for use in homes. Edison knew he was losing the technological battle, so he turned to a campaign of fear and character assassination. He began a public relations war to convince the public that Tesla's AC was the executioner's current. He staged public demonstrations where he paid neighborhood children to bring him stray dogs and cats, which he then electrocuted using AC to show how dangerous it was. He even used AC to kill a circus elephant named Topsy in front of a crowd. Edison lobbied politicians to pass laws against AC and worked secretly to ensure that the first state-ordered execution by electric chair used a Westinghouse AC generator, just so the public would associate Tesla's name with death and the prison system. But Tesla and Westinghouse had one chance to prove the world wrong: the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. It was the first electric fair in history, and the stakes were the future of the planet. Westinghouse underbid Edison by nearly half, winning the right to light the event. On the opening night, President Cleveland pressed a golden button, and in an instant, 100,000 light bulbs illuminated the fairgrounds. It was a sea of white light that could be seen for miles. It was the most beautiful thing the public had ever seen. Tesla didn't just win the bid, he won the hearts of the world. Shortly after, Tesla achieved his childhood dream. He built the first large-scale hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls. He proved that he could harness the power of the falling water and send it 26 miles away to Buffalo. It was the birth of the modern power grid we use today. But victory came with a heavy price. The war had nearly bankrupted Westinghouse's company. To save the future of AC and protect his friend, Tesla did the unthinkable. He tore up his royalty contract, giving up millions of dollars in future wealth, money that would have made him the world's first billionaire. He chose the progress of humanity over his own bank account. Tesla had conquered the wires, but his mind was already moving toward something far greater, a world without wires at all. He had won the war, but his most ambitious and mysterious dreams were still to come. In our final episode, we explore Tesla's pursuit of wireless energy, his experiments with lightning, and his lonely final years in a New York hotel. What do you think? Was Tesla right to prioritize science over money? Let me know in the comments below. See you in the final chapter.